Good evening, welcome in, welcome back. My name is Millie. This is the Ghost Bride Tarot. I'm going to be doing the reading today for Gemini. Look, your energy's been, how shall I say, distressed is the word that's coming through. So I have felt a little sense of urgency to get your reading out. Yeah, the energy was pretty intense yesterday for you guys. So we're going to get straight into this, and we are going to run through some channel messages that I've got for you guys, and then we're going to look at a few tarot spreads. I'm not entirely sure which way that's going to go yet. We might just run through the channel messages and then flow through the energy from there. All right, so the first thing that you might experience this month is like being out of breath for some reason, like being out of breath, like being really busy, being really overwhelmed, things really being disruptive, and like there may be a sense of distress for you guys around some of this stuff. All right, I was getting something for you guys this month that is very much strongly connected to Taurus, and I'm also getting a message about Leo and Aries. So you may like to check out those readings and see if there's anything that correlates for you there, because your energy is very much intertwined with those signs from what I can see thus far in the reading. Okay, so there is this energy of you guys being like extremely overwhelmed, having like a lot on your plate, even like not even really knowing where to start. Like there is a lot of channel messages coming through for you guys this month, and it does feel really chaotic and really scattered, and like there's going to be a lot happening for you guys. It may even feel like you know how like you get dunked by a wave and then you finally make your way up to the surface, and then you just immediately get dunked by another wave, and then you think you like swimming to the surface, then you hit the sand, and then there's a very chaotic, like out of control kind of energy around you guys at the moment. So yeah, that was the urgency behind getting this reading out. Okay, so I'm just gonna pick a spot, Spirit's sake. All right, so some of you guys are detangling something at the moment. There feels like there's this sifting process that's happening, maybe even sweeping for some of you, and it's a slow process. There's something that's very tangled, and you're trying to, whatever this is for each of you, it will be very different. For some of you, it's in relation to documents, and I'm seeing like it could even be something to do with the bank. I am seeing something about going into the bank or a historic building or some kind of really like a building that has like large pillars, maybe even a courthouse for some of you. All right, some of you this month or in the very recent past have experienced some kind of a shock or a tower, and that may be very much connected to whatever you're detangling here, because it does seem to be within that same realm is what Spirit's telling me. There's some weird things coming through for you guys this month. There's a lot to do with numbers and numerology. I was getting 330, which actually came through as a time, and also 121, but then I was also getting the numbers 333, 344, and then 112, and Spirit's saying 1112 now as well. Some of you may be studying numerology or even just looking into the numerology of your own birth chart and seeing how that's affecting you or could be of benefit to you in some way. There does seem to be this energy of like, yeah, the numbers are important, Spirit's saying. Some of you guys this month or in this cycle that you're currently in are feeling a little bit fragile and upset about something. It does seem to be like private, like you don't really want to share whatever this is with people. There is something about interrupted sleep, and Yeah, something about interrupted sleep and also like really intense dreams. So the way that Spirit was presenting it to me was like you may be finding yourself falling asleep, but then when you do fall into sleep, it's like you go into that different world and that's really busy and chaotic as well. And you're not really getting any chance to rest, is what Spirit's telling me. Pay attention to your dreams. I always recommend writing them down, keeping some kind of journal, because it does seem to be helpful. If you can then look back at it with a bit of hindsight, they do seem to sometimes give us clues or make sense in some way. Some of you guys are doing some wild change with your hair at the moment. There is something about a haircut coming through. Some of you guys are actually doing a wild change. It's not just hair. It could be like an overall makeover kind of a thing that's happening for you guys. All right. Something is going to come through for you guys this month, and it does feel very much directly related to a relationship. It will come through in the form of like unfinished business, something that was left. Spirit saying like maybe even just tying up loose ends for some of you, but there is going to be some kind of uncomfortable or even confronting situation. For some of you, this has already happened, but I do feel like it's incoming. Some kind of uncomfortable, tense situation that you can have with someone in regards to unfinished business. I really want you guys to try and be like, obviously prepared for the worst, hopeful for the best, all that kind of stuff, but like be mindful of where your mindset is in regards to things, because you can really influence the outcome by just having a positive mindset. It does seem to be something that for most of us takes a lot of like it takes us a while to get used to, like excuse me, to having a positive outlook, and it does take a lot of training of the brain in that way, but it is possible. So I do think that you guys should try to be positive about whatever unfinished business is coming through for you guys this month, because the way that things come up is for a reason. Yeah, so it's either coming up to be closed out, or it's coming up to offer you something else or some other opportunity for expansion. So absolutely pay attention to that. It does feel very much connected to somebody from the past, and somebody that you may or may not be even expecting to hear from. Some of you don't want to hear from this person, Spirit saying. Yeah, some of you just don't want to deal with it whatsoever, and that's okay. But the advice from Spirit here is to have a positive outlook, and maybe I would say with that advice, maybe be a little bit open to whatever this is. Something coming through for you guys about deja vu this month. There may be a lot of experiences that you're having, and it doesn't seem like deja vu where you're like intrigued by the mystery and the wonder and all of that. It does kind of feel like deja vu, like, are we really doing this again? Like that kind of energy of like, yeah, I was definitely hearing, are we really doing this again? Which is kind of amusing to me at this point, but like, yeah, I don't know. Oh, I accidentally left the heater on. I was wondering why it's getting so hot. Okay, some of you guys are having... All right, I want to talk about your guys' health at the moment, and take this with a grain of salt. This could be you, or this could be something around you, or someone you're encountering, or even somebody in your family. This month, there is something around stomach issues coming through, and it does feel like it's creating quite the issue for you. Let's put it that way. There is something about discomfort. Some of you may have to go into hospital this month in regards to this. It doesn't feel like it's like life or death or anything like that. It definitely feels like it's something that can be resolved. Something about muscle definition and strength as well coming through in the wake of that. There is something about a bed, and perhaps like waiting for a bed, or for some of you, like wanting to be back in your own bed if you have been in hospital or you have been away from home for a while for whatever reason. There is this energy coming through around beds being important. And like I'm filming in bed today and that's not really, God, this hair is bothering me. Yeah, okay, anyway. Something about applying pressure and balance. So you may be finding that whatever's coming in at the moment that's like challenging you in some way or intensifying the pressure in some element or aspect of your life, I would just pay attention to that rather than resist it. Kind of like just be curious, like what is this bringing up for you? Maybe there's something within this uncomfortable situation that's going to be able to serve you in some way. So yeah, Spirit saying watch the rigidity this month, Gemini. I'll tell you what, I'm really glad that I didn't do your reading yesterday, because yesterday there was like a lot of tears. There was a lot happening around your energy that felt really like super chaotic. But the way that the channeled messages are coming through as I'm speaking them, it was far different to the energy that was being channeled onto the page. So, and I do like that correlation, how sometimes what's written and then reading it back or hearing it back, it really changes the tone of what's here. Okay, so I'm hearing someone with an accent saying, "What have we got here?" Like there is something that's intriguing and exciting that comes through this month. Okay. Could that could be directly connected to somebody that has an accent, a foreign accent, Spirit saying, or an accent that you find attractive in some way? There is this connection to somebody with rolling R's that may come through this month for you guys, and one of the other signs did get that. I'm not going to go through the paperwork now to see who it is. Okay, so yeah, there is going to be some surprises coming through for you guys this month. It does feel like some of them are going to be like annoying. Let's put it that way. Some things that cross our paths we just don't want to deal with, but you're going to have to deal with it or it will just show back up at a later date, Spirit saying. There is this energy around you guys being overwhelmed, having like an influx of new information coming through, maybe even new people. I'm seeing you having to like enter a lot of different phone numbers into your phone or sorting through a lot of paperwork. There is this like, it's a very busy month for you guys. Oh, it's your season, Spirit saying, yeah, I'm not that good with human dates and things like that. Like I just don't really. Yeah, okay, maybe that was also part of the urgency to get your reading out, because it does seem like there's something about you at the moment that's fragile or upset or unsure, but it feels unnecessary as I'm going through the reading. Like there was a lot of tears yesterday. There was a lot of like almost neediness within your energy, and I don't say that in a cruel way. I mean like if you need assistance, yeah, that can be neediness. There was like a sadness, like a okay, so Spirit's saying to me, so if this hospital stuff isn't directly related to you, this could also be somebody else that you're caring for, because I do see you, that could be the busyness as well. You could be caring for somebody that's in hospital or even trying to find a bed for somebody in a new facility. There is a lot coming through around like, yeah, I don't want to touch too much on that stuff, but there is definitely something going on with your health or somebody's health around you that you're having, you're immediately impacted by. Maybe even having some form of responsibility come into play here in regards to that. Okay, moving on, there is going to be a lot of names that are coming through this reading. The way that I would take these names, if they do come across your path, I would very much say like, just take them as a confirmation of the reading, or pay attention to the conversations that's happening around those names, because there is a lot, and it does come through again with that message about a lot of new people, like a lot of new different interactions and things like that that could be maybe even interrupting you. Like you may be struggling to get the work done that you want to get done at the moment because you've got all of these, like an influx of new responsibilities that have come through. Sorry. Okay, some of you guys are doing gardening and mowing, and you may find a sense of like relief or comfort in that. Like I love to mow my lawn. It's my favorite thing to do. There is something around carpentry coming through for you guys this month. You may be, I totally forgot about the names. We will get back to the names. There was something coming through about carpentry, like building something with or for family. Like it didn't feel like building a house. It felt like building something by hand. It's definitely something intimate that you're building by hand. For some of you, it could even be like a photo frame, like a wooden photo frame for Mother's Day or something like that coming through. There is something about also creating or crafting things with natural fibers coming through for you guys. So some of those names that have been circulating your energy at the moment, I've got the name Rob, and then I was also getting Robbie, and there was a very big distinction between the two. Like it's, you know, like some people that go by Rob would never be called Robbie and vice versa. Like there is something like that coming through around that name. I was also getting Mel, but they said for this one it is Melanie or Melissa, so that one's okay, and I don't really understand why that was separate, but they did make a point of that. The names that I've got for you guys are Lynn, Emma, George, Harry, David, Chelsea, Adam, Connor, Anthony, Angie, Adrian. And the letter M, and that's like at the top of your reading, and that did come through. I'm not entirely sure if I said that at the beginning, but I probably should have, because that was important. Some of you guys might be pet sitting this month. If you're not taking care of somebody, you might be taking care of somebody's pet. Maybe that person's in hospital. It does seem like a dog or a bird. It doesn't really feel like a cat, and I don't know why that's significant, but it is. Some of you guys this month, oh yeah. All right, so Spirit saying there is going to be something surprising that comes through, and it does feel like it comes through towards the end of the month for you guys, and that feels like a bit of a restoration. Like whatever comes through replenishes your energy in some way. I do see you guys being like overexerted, really having a lot on your plate, maybe even having to keep a list, like having so many things to do that you're just like really struggling to keep on top of everything and feeling really overwhelmed by that. Whatever comes through, this surprising thing that comes through towards the end of the month, again, Spirit saying something about the 15th and 16th, and there was a connection to that in the last reading that I posted. I think it was Pisces. There is something coming through around a restoration, some kind of energy that comes through that is a reprieve or a release or of aid to you in some way. So if you're feeling really overwhelmed and under the pump and like it's only you that can get these things done, definitely lean into any opportunities that come towards the end of the month, because there does feel like there's some kind of help. Help is on the way, Spirit's saying. Okay, so there might be children around you at the moment. There might be a lot of children's shows around you. I'm specifically seeing Bluey. You might find yourself just singing those kids' shows, like the songs, like really realizing that you know the words to the songs as well. That's really specific, but that did come through. All right. There's a few places that have come up in your reading and your energy today. So the biggest one's been Indonesia. And I live in Australia. So Indonesia is like Bali, if you're not entirely sure where that is. The other countries that were coming through were Palestine, Kazakhstan, and Istanbul. And then I was actually hearing something about Palm Beach, and that has come through a few times, and I don't really even know where Palm Beach is. Something about trees and palm trees in particular is also coming through for you guys. Yeah, your energy feels, oh yeah, and also something about a hexagon. Spirit was saying something about that, and maybe even something about like 6 sides, like 6 points of view, or maybe even 6 people coming through to like collaborate on something. There is a lot coming through with your energy. And I think I've got everything. Oh yeah, excuse me. Sorry, that's a bit. All right, so I was seeing the number 44, and I did see that on a doorway. Spirit showed me a blue door and a red door. This like blue pill, red pill thing's been coming through lately. So it does seem to be like people are like coming up against choices and options and different avenues within the collective. But it's definitely like showing up here in your reading with that like red door, blue door thing. So pay attention to that. Okay, so all right, so what I'm going to do for your tarot portion of the reading, Gemini, I'm going to use this bad boy. And we're going to do your internal realm versus your external realm. Then on top of that, I'm going to pull your heart space and your relationships and then how they're interplaying all together. And then right at the end, we're going to do what to expect and maybe some surprises from the universe for you guys. Okay, so we're going to start with this. I don't know if I put Temperance back in here though. We may not actually be able to use this deck. So you guys may be upset about something this month that, oh shit, I don't think Temperance is in here. See, there is a lack of balance for you guys. There is this feeling of like, Spirit's saying to use it anyway. Okay. All right, so you may feel like you just don't want to do something this month because it's like not complete, or you're not ready enough, or you don't have all the tools or something like that. I do see you being well and truly able to move forward with whatever that is. And so, yeah, that positive mindset piece is definitely coming through from the channeled messages again. So just pay attention to that and how that plays out for you this month. I would definitely say there's like something around this that's like you are upset about something. See, and I'm hearing that, are we really doing this again thing? This could be something that shows up for you quite a bit. All right. Okay. Spirit, can you please show me for Gemini internal? Yeah, state of confusion straight away. External. Whatever this is, you're taking it slow to move through it, or there needs to be a sense of patience to move through it. Patience is necessary, and that's actually highlighted. Okay. Yeah, there's something going on for you guys because I've not been stuffy, and there is something around like blockages. Maybe even like tripping over your words or having an issue with speech. Feeling like you don't have all the right words, or like, okay. All right, so your internal realm at the moment, a lot of you are weighing your options internally. I think there does seem to be this sense of confusion or frustration with something that's happening internally. It's like you're trying to process something, you're trying to integrate something. You still may not have all of the information, or it may not have been played out to fruition, whatever this is, because at this state of confusion, it seems to be like slowing the process. In the external, Spirit's saying you are supported through this. There may be a sense of restriction around that support, or feeling like I'm seeing you trying a lot of different avenues and feeling like you're coming up against brick walls in all of those avenues. And it does seem to come with like a sense of like there's other people assisting you, there's other people helping you. There does seem to be like this energy surrounding your reading where it's like there's definitely other people's Spirit saying, are they helping or hindering? For some of you, the people around you are not helping the situation, and there very much needs to be a reevaluation of responsibilities and investments in relationships and the balance between those things. Again, we are missing temperance from this deck. There is a missing element here. There's no tranquility in your external realm at the moment, and it's frustrating because internally I see you seeking that. I see you trying really hard to find the peace within. Even some of you may be trying to do that positive outlook thing where it's like you're prepared for the worst, but you're hoping for and maybe even expecting the best solution for some of you. There is a lot happening here between others that I think actually could be affecting this state of confusion for you. And there does seem to be, yeah, look at that, 2 aces. There is absolutely going to be new truths coming through that the Spirit's saying initiate action. Okay, the way this is coming through is like for some of you, there's something that you're working on, helping with, aiding with, and that's creating a sense of frustration for perhaps even the team. And it does feel like this is coming through in there is a tenderness to this situation. There is something that you're working on that's going to be helpful. There is something that's going to be, geez, this reading's taken a weird turn from what I expected it to be. There is the Ace of Cups at the bottom of the deck too with the Wheel of Fortune. Something's taken a turn, Spirit saying. Something's taken a big turn. Maybe that's why you're in a state of confusion. All of this, whatever's happening externally here, and it does involve quite a few other people, Spirit saying to me, whatever's happening externally here is creating a deep sense of confusion, maybe even slowing your personal progression to some degree. The way this is coming through is like there will be a breakthrough. It's a conversation that's hard. For some of you, this conversation's for some of you, this is a heated discussion that absolutely takes a turn for the worse. And I see that being really, really upsetting to you. That could be why you're in this state of confusion. You may have just shut down completely and said, like, no, I'm not dealing with this any further. I would very much recommend reopening to that conversation at some point in time that feels comfortable to you, because it does feel like there is something within that conversation particularly helpful to you or of value to you or of aid to you in some way. There does seem to be this energy surrounding the entire reading of like conflicting opinions, conflicting values. There's a lot of pushing and shoving here in your reading, actually. All right, I'm going to just move into relationships on top of this, because internally I see you being in this state of confusion for maybe even Spirit saying some of you are weighing options. Some of you are weighing options. Some of you are in this state of confusion regarding your family life or your immediate, those in your immediate vicinity. There is something about this that very much strongly involves and is affected by other people, but it does seem to be internally disruptive to you in some way. All right, Spirit, may I please see Give me Gemini's heart space. So you're weighing your options. You're in two minds about something here. You're very much unsure of which way to go to. Why? Yeah, okay. All right, so in your heart space, you are very much defeated, perhaps even at a loss to some degree of like, there has been something that's come through here for you, Gemini, that's taken all the wind out of your sails, Spirit's saying. And that is causing you to it's causing you to pause, reflect, stop, slow your roll, Spirit's saying. There is something about slowing down that's really seeming to be emphasized here for you guys. It does seem to be like, all right, so recently in your relationships or coming up in the very near future this month, there will be something that kind of, Spirit's saying it initiates a new path. What I was going to say is it illuminates a different aspect to a relationship that you absolutely were not seeing or prepared for even. It does seem to come from like someone important to you, Spirit say. This is absolutely something being turned upside down on its head. The urgency here doesn't really, the urgency to get your reading out that came through yesterday doesn't even really feel necessary though. In now that I'm sitting in your energy, it does feel like maybe you, okay, so Spirit's saying to me, maybe you're the one that's actually illuminated this different opinion or pathway to somebody else, because with the Hanged Man here, like the Hanged Man has a different way of thinking and it's generally different to that of like, you know, society. Like he thinks outside the box in a way that's very much individual to him, and that could be you could be the one that's kind of illuminating something for somebody this month that they weren't prepared for or expecting, and they could absolutely be like, whoa, in regards to that. Yeah, this energy could definitely be going that way as well. All right, so for some of you this month in your relationships, you're going to be like retracting, refraining. Oh yeah, I actually was getting this come through earlier. You are absolutely going to be reassessing some relationships this month. I'm seeing you guys actually there was something about spending time with people that doesn't serve you best, spending time with people that elicit negative emotions from you and things like that. There was something coming through around that. So there is absolutely going to be like a revelation. There is going to be a shift. There is going to be some transformation in the external that maybe it could even be you that initiates that with the Eight of Cups. There does seem to be like a slow and steady energy. We've moved from the Seven of Cups to the Eight with you. So it absolutely could be you making this move, Gemini, where see that Justice card coming through, especially in the wake of the lack of Temperance card here. Spirit's saying like a cosmic wrecking ball, like there is some kind of universal rebalancing that's happening here. It does feel very much interconnected to like your nearest and dearest and those that you deal with, or those that you deal with on a daily basis. Spirit's saying, all right, so your outcome for towards the end of the month, things are looking good. Things are looking like they're heating up in a way where you finally are gaining some movement. So we go from the Five of Wands with the Eight of Swords. So this like restriction, chaos, like butting heads kind of energy here in the incoming or current energy. And then in your outcome or future energy, there is like, this is like finding a way to balance things, like finding a way to like balance your options, like juggling things in a way that feels fluid. It feels like things are going in a steady direction. And then the Eight of Wands, like look at that. Compared to that, things are going to start flowing again. There definitely feels like there's this flow kind of energy that comes through towards the end of the month. I definitely want to pull a card because I feel like this could, I don't need to. This is actually potentially going to come from somebody or somebody's else. This could come from a few people. There does seem to be like 6 or more energies around you at the time. So pay attention to the people that you're interacting with. Pay attention with how they're influencing or affecting your moods, your mindset, even the choices that you make or your ability to make those choices, Spirit's saying. There will be something that there is a reinvestment, Spirit's saying. That could even be like a reinvestment of a relationship or some kind of, yeah. That one doesn't really make any sense to me. Okay, towards the end of the month, there will be some kind of victory. There will be some kind of being seen, some kind of acknowledgement even of success. So if you've been feeling like you couldn't get ahead of this or you couldn't get on top of whatever this is, you're moving from the 5 into the 6, you're moving from the 7 into the 8. Things are progressing, but it's one step at a time. You cannot rush this. There is you're not moving backwards though, Spirit's saying either. And that's important. All right, show me. Okay, let's do surprises from the universe. Oh, yeah, something about spelling mistakes was coming through. Something about you may encounter somebody that doesn't know how to spell their own name this month, and there is something coming through around maybe teaching somebody to spell. So you might be teaching a child to spell. There was something coming through around spelling and that universe. That stumbling over words thing came through in the channeled messages, didn't it? All right, there are going to be some surprises for you guys this month, and it does feel like some of those surprises may be destabilizing. So be prepared for that in the sense of like trusting in your own abilities to overcome issues, but also trusting in the experiences that you've had thus far to give you or enable you the talents or the experience to then confront whatever's arising for you guys this month. Spirit's saying to start with unexpected, and then we'll move into surprises from the universe. Okay, so for some of you, that radical rebirth energy is coming through, and that may be unexpected. Whether that's unexpected by you or others is neither here nor there. There is some element of surprise here. Maybe you've been forced into it, Spirit's saying. Okay, so you've got feeling safe, which feels really quite like that's all we need kind of energy. Divine lineage, celestial alignment, and then there are 2 cards here that kind of are indicating that, yeah, you're going to have to speak up and out about something this month. There definitely seems to be something that needs to be said, and you may be not feeling safe to say it or not know how to word it or have this like energy of, yeah, just not really being 100% sure how things are going to pan out with this. But with the 8 of Wands and the 6 of Wands in the outcome, there is going to be fast-paced movement. There is going to be expansion. There is going to be something. Maybe there's even a couple of elements that are taken away that then lead to a more successful outcome for you guys. For whatever this is, it does very much seem like connected to like a few people. There's a few people that are involved here. There's no 2 ways about it. There's definitely a few people here, and delicate choices being made as well at this time. So pay attention to that. The biggest thing that's coming through is that you guys are safe. Like there's this feeling of like not really, sorry about the glare. Anyway, some of you may be getting a ring light, Spirit saying. Others of you are feeling really unsafe and like things are chaotic, and you may be fearful of speaking up and speaking out. This energy comes through with that ring light of like you are surrounded and protected at all times by white light and by your spirits and your guides and your team. So trust in that divine guidance, and also trust in your own ability to make the right decision moving forward. There is something here about you perhaps feeling stalled, perhaps feeling like you don't want to do something. There is this energy around you like there's an upset here. There's definitely an upset here for you guys this month. The way that Spirit's presenting it to me is like you're very much aware of this chaos. You're very much aware of the different elements here that are contributing to the entirety of the issue, Spirit's saying. And it may just be as simple as like taking a few things away, going from that 8 of Wands to the 6 of Wands. Like some of you are quitting smoking, Spirit's saying, or quitting some kind of bad habit, even thought process that could be coming through for you guys. All right, show me surprises from the universe. I want to use, guess what I just found? This feels good. Look who's here right at the end of your reading. It's the Temperance card that I thought was in the lounge room. Something is easily overcome this month for you guys, and it doesn't feel like it. It feels like it's super upsetting and very chaotic and really like Spirit saying some of you it is absolute devastation. I'm actually seeing someone like falling to their knees and crying out of absolute sheer devastation. Then on the parallel to that, I'm seeing somebody falling to their knees with absolute tears of gratitude and like just overwhelmed. So there is this energy of like things are easily going to come into balance. We did have that Justice card there. You've got to really reassess, reevaluate. It feels more like you've got to take something away rather than try and force or add anything into this. It does feel like there needs to be something that's taken away. If you're not entirely sure what I'm talking about here with that element of what needs to be taken away, I would wait. I would sit on that because that absolutely feels like connected to that patience necessary piece. So just sit on that and like your intuition will lead the way. Absolutely. It always does. Okay, Spirit, show me surprises from the universe for our darling Gemini. Oh yes, Spirit was saying something to me around you may have somebody in your life that says darling a lot, or like calls you darling, or there was some kind of connection to the name darling, and now I'm hearing Peter Pan. All right, can I have surprises from the universe for Gemini? Okay, emotional clearing and soul ascension. So this is Spirit saying something about coagulation, like blood. There has been some kind of blockage for you guys. It's absolutely felt like it was going to be Spirit saying like you thought it was going to be a bloody mess. What I'm seeing here with the dissolution is like that's absolutely going to start flowing again. There is something about the and that's Temperance, isn't it, really? That's the alchemist coming through and mixing these elements and then making it work again. Like if you think of blood and there's that added element, whatever it is that's clotting it. See, and even air, you know, when you cut yourself and your blood coagulates to form the scab. There is something about you guys being wounded, upset, frustrated, even maybe like deeply concerned about your health at the moment. If that's you, I absolutely will have you guys in my prayers this month. There does seem to be something that's easily overcome, or some solution that's readily accessible to you, Spirit's saying. So yeah, this energy is a little bit uncomfortable, and I may even watch this video back before I post it, because I'm not entirely sure how I feel around this medical stuff, but it does seem to be coming through, so I have to put it out there. Spirit's saying it's my responsibility to put it out there, and I appreciate that support. Thank you, Spirit. All right, so you guys are going to be returning to drive, energy, and passion this month. It does, and that does seem surprising for you guys, because it feels like you're very much like exhausted. You have nothing left to give, Spirit's saying. There is something coming through around supportive energies that are surprising to you in some way. Spirit saying it could even be one individual throughout this whole thing that really takes you by surprise, and you could even change your perspective of that person through whatever happens here, because it's like they're really quite they are of aid to you in some way, Spirit saying. That, like, the spiritual gold card is there at the bottom of the deck. All right, so you got your drive, your energy, and your passion returning, and then something about honoring your individuality. So for some of you, if you're feeling like Spirit's saying some of you are feeling like your point isn't heard, or your say doesn't matter, or something like that, there does seem to be this energy around injustice, I would probably say, is what's coming through. Yeah, ride the wave of this. Whatever this is, Gemini, it absolutely felt far more chaotic yesterday than it actually is today. So take your time with this. If you'd like a personal, all of the information is either in the description box on my bio. I'm not that good with like technology side of things, which is weird because I'm an Aquarius. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to leave it there for you guys. This reading seems a little bit... that unfinished business piece is coming through from the channeled messages. So I am going to leave it here. There is some kind of... there may have been something that you were dissatisfied with, and you've had to just like leave it. Like you just like can't be bothered putting any more energy into it anymore, Spirit saying. Yeah, your energy actually wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be when I was doing your channeled messages, Gemini. It actually feels quite, well, now we've found the Temperance card, haven't we? Yeah. Okay, nice. I am going to leave that one there for you guys. Oh, yeah, last messages from the channel messages. There is something about a teddy bear coming through. I'm hearing Big Ted and Little Ted. So that might be of significance for you this month. Once again, my name is Millie. This is the Ghost Bride Tarot. Thank you so much for being here with me today. If you got something from this, please like, share, subscribe, all that jazz. Because I like staying home and working from home and not answering to no stinking man. Maybe some of you are finding that this month, or should very much consider that this month, Spirit's saying, like, and there is that 44 that was just there, and I did get that in your channel messages. There is a harvest that's coming through for you guys this month. The biggest piece of advice for you guys is going to be surrender, settle into anything that's happening around you with a sense of knowing that it is going to serve you in some way. It is of benefit to you in some way, even though it may feel like it's like saddling you with a lot of responsibilities. Okay, Gemini, I love ya. I really, really love ya, and I hope that hits. And yeah. See, it does feel unfinished because now I just keep seeing more messages on the channel messages that we didn't actually read out. There was something coming through around grandmothers. So some of you may be a grandmother, you may be you may be blessed enough to still have your grandmother with you. There is something very significant around grandmothers this month. And hair, like the hair's really like annoying me today. Something also around flowers and rituals with those flowers. So something, maybe even flower remedies. And also Arabic and Hebrew. Okay, my darlings, I am going to leave that one there for you guys. Yeah, let me know how that hits. If you don't feel confident to do it in there, comments, you can hit me in the email, because I do like to know how this stuff resonates for you guys. It's always super interesting for me. I just love working with spirits. It's cool. All right, I love you. Taddy love.